Okay, I kind of lied to you. Told a fib. Didn't tell the whole truth. Whoopsie. Last cutting board video, I said that I won't do the drip rail around the edges. So I have to clarify that. I have a standardized board, size board. I was doing huge, large boards for a while, and people bought them, but they were a little unruly. So some people kind of complained about the size of them, and I scaled down the cutting area to make it easier. People love it, and I actually made them thicker, which is nice because it's substantial. It sits on the counter, especially if you put a table under it. But my standard boards are about 10¼ inches by anywhere from 20 to 22 inches. Just depends on what I make them. And that turns out to be a perfect size to put on a counter and cut pretty much everything you need to cut. So this chef in San Francisco recently contacted me and was willing to, he offered me a lot of money, not enough, to make him a super big board. So I did it for him. And he really wanted this drip rail. And I didn't want to do it, and I thought, well, I'll go against my comfort zone. I'll step out of my comfort zone, and I'll go for it. What's the worst that could happen, you know? And I nailed it. So this is it. This is the board here. And you can see what I did there. It's pretty nice. Came out okay. Of course, I got my grip there that I do, that little extra lip. This has not been waxed yet. It's been oiled a few times. Got enough oil on it. I'm going to wax it next and bag it. This board is 16 inches by 21 inches. It's over 2½ inches thick. It's massive. It probably weighs about 20 pounds. So, you know, you can work out with it if you want to, whatever you want, get in the kitchen. It's got the right grip for it. And it's got this. So how did I do that? Everybody's asking me how I did it. I've just got your old school plunge router here, quarter cable plunge router. I use 1/2 inch shank bits because that reduces chatter. And these are the bits I use. Now I was using Freud's for a while. It's a 3/4 inch. Some people call it a bowl bit. You can see these two are burned out. I'm getting that right for you. Hope you can see it because I can't see what I'm looking at right now. And you know, the thing about these is when I'm doing the finger grip there, if there's a little burn there, it doesn't matter so much. I saved a lot of that out. It's not the end of the world. I didn't want to do that on this board, so I bought a new bit. Now these are in the $40 range. I believe this is 50 or 60. This is a CMT. Same bit, better quality. Hope you can see that. And I had this other Freud here that didn't have a long enough cutting surface. Kind of purchased it by mistake one time. Now, what I did was I used this bit on the top for the drip rail. And I just did that because I don't want to burn out my bits. So I'm going to keep using this CMT for the plunging for the finger grips. And use this for that. So I've got this fence here that I added a piece of wood to. You should do this to all your fences. You can modify all your tools, make your own jigs. If you're a woodworker, that's what you should be doing. And that attaches to the bottom of the router. And there's a bunch of different settings. I do the math. Every board's a little bit different, but basically you just screw that on there, set your depth right, set your depth on this. There's a lot of little tricks with this router. You can trust the measuring gauge on here, which is right here, if you know how to set that up right. You know, if enough people ask me about that and how to do it, I'll show you. But you should be able to figure that out, right? It's not brain surgery. So what I did was I put the bit in, I set it for 3/16 of an inch deep, maybe a little more, but not quite a quarter. And I ran it along here, just a short distance. And then I used my speed square, and I did an adjustment from the edge to here, and I drew pencil lines on all 4 corners, and that gave me a mark to stop at. So I was able to bring it to here and stop it just before that mark, this direction, just before the mark, same up there, plunge it in here and run it, and eyeballed it. And there's a slight bit of burn here and there. I got most of that out, and it's almost perfect. There's a couple spots where I can feel where it's a little, but I sanded that pretty smooth. You'd have to go looking for it or feel it. It's one of those things you can't get super perfect. If I suppose if you were doing production run of boards, all your boards were the same size, you could make a jig. You could get one of these bits that has a bearing on it, and you can do each one exactly perfect with a lot less stress. I freehand all this stuff. I do all these plunge cuts, the finger grip, the little edge, the rail that I make to grab. I do all of that with this plunge router, with these bits, and this fence. I got a big old vise on my bench over here. I put the board in that, and that's how I do it. So if I can do it, you could do it. But it is hairy, and it helps if you've got some strength. You know, this thing's like 3,200 RPM or something. I mean, routers are scary. Anyhow, hope that helps. Hope you dig on the board. It's not cheap. I'm not going to be doing this for everybody. I spent like $275 in lumber. There's not $275 here that you're looking at, but I had to buy, 8-foot length sticks, or approximate. I think I bought 7-footers. They were shorts over at Bonhoeffer. When they say shorts, I always think like 4 feet, but they go up to 7 feet. So I was able to get maple, hard maple, mahogany. I did get one long piece of Purple Heart. That one board was about $100, but that's going to last me for a few boards. So I'm not really making money on this board when you think about what I spent on it and the time I put into it. But I've got enough wood to make a few more boards. I know one of you want at least 2 of them, so I'll probably get to those at some point. I've got another project I'm working on right now. I sized something up the other day. I got to go maybe do next week, I hope, because I need the coin. And, I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're able to get through this mess right now financially. I'm having a real hard time. Family issues, sick people in the family, everything else. It's a bummer. But let's all stay positive. All right? Help each other out. That's what I'm trying to do here. Have a good day.